Hey there, it's Tiffany of Clarity, Confidence, Courage, Women's Empowerment. I am a women's life coach that really helps heart-centered, empathic, compassionate women who have gone through a difficult divorce rebuild, redefine, and re-energize their lives to create a life that they absolutely love. On this channel, you're going to learn about self-development, mindset, and I also teach about the tools that you need to help you move forward into the life that you desire. All right, today we're going to talk about what books are you reading? And the top books that I feel that I've been reading have leveled me up over the years and how you can use them to level up your life. Now, before we jump into the content, make sure, as always, you share, like, and subscribe. Let other women just like you know where they can come to get all the deets on how to rebuild their life after a divorce. All right, let's jump to this content. But today I want to talk about what type of books you need to read after you've gotten a divorce and you want to level up your life. Now, ladies, because I love books, I could not create, you know how some YouTubers are like, I'm going to give you the top 10 books to read to really change your life. I can't do that because there's so many books that I have read that changed my life and in different areas of my life. So I'm gonna go through my books list and we can just have a chit chat, you know, pull up some, get a drink, have a seat and just, you know, watch and learn. The books that I have a stack of books here that I'm gonna go through some of the ones that I really love, but I'll also listen to books on Audibles and then I might go and buy the book because I just wanna actually read it physically. One book that I really like by Christine Carlson, it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And I don't know if you guys know about this author. I think like the backstory of her life, her husband ended up dying. She actually had a pretty heart-wrenching story, but she wrote this book, and it's a series, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff for Kids, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Life. And this one is specifically Don't Sweat the Small Stuff for Women, simple and practical ways to do what matters most and find time for yourself. And it's very simple, but it's so profound. It's like, what is really important in your life? What are you really giving your time and your energy to? Because some of the stuff that you're giving your time and your energy to are really small stuff. And it's kind of all small stuff. It's all kind of monotony, but it really helps you kind of sit back and say, is this really worth my time? Why am I getting angry about this? Is this really something I can change? Is this really affecting my life? What can I change in my life and what can I focus on that's really important, that really matters? So Don't Sweat the Small Stuff was a great book. Another great book that I really loved, and I have this on Audibles, but this is one of those books. It was so good, I had to buy it like from the actual book. It's called You Say More Than You Think by Janine Driver, and it's a 7-day plan for using the new body language to get what you want. This particular lady, Janine Driver, is the founder and president of the Body Language Institute. She's trained thousands of law enforcement officers, and that's kind of how I found her. This book is deep. I mean, and it gives you pictures. It goes deep into body language, and it's teaching you how to detect body language and how to really watch people and see what their body is telling you, not just from what their lips are saying, but what is their body telling you? The sweat coming down the side of their face, them looking from left to right and looking all around, and the movements that people have when they're lying. And it's really good. And she has done a lot of work with hostage negotiators to help them understand when people are lying, but also people in law enforcement. She has really helped law enforcement officers when it comes to interrogation. I think she worked for the government at one point, and that's how she got started. But that is a great book. The 7 Acts of Courage. This book is by Robert E. Stubb II, and it says the 7 Acts of Courage brings my heart into the workplace and reminds us that it takes courage to act, to live, to love, and to lead by example. This is a great book for leadership. My oldest sister gave it to me, who I see as a fantastic leader in her life, but especially in her career. She's gone like to the moon and back with her career, and she gave me this book a long time ago. And it's like the courage to confront, the courage to be confronted, the courage to really just stand up for yourself, the courage to learn and grow. It's a really good book about just being courageous, not in your own life as at home, but just out there in the world, courageous in community, courageous at your job. And so 7 Acts of Courage is a really good one. I could not have a book list without the infamous Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you've never heard of Napoleon Hill, you know, there's several books that he's written, but a lot of like master business people have talked about Think and Grow Rich. I've read it several times. I had a coach she was really big on this. She made all of her coaching students read this over and over again. but it really just kind of drives home the point that when it comes to success and abundance, it starts in the mind. So if you are the type of person who believes that you want to grow and you want to, really understand how to not just be rich financially, but be rich in your entire life, Think and Grow Rich is a great book. When it comes to finances, if you're looking for a book to really help you skyrocket your finances and get your financial life in order, this is a great book. I've taken, finance classes. I've read other books about finances, but I thought this was really good. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Ramit is on, and again, none of these books are, paying me anything. Ramit is not paying me anything. These are just books that I really love, and they're really good books. But Ramit is on YouTube. I would definitely encourage you to follow him if you're really like, Tiffany, I have got to get a grip on my finances. This divorce was so rough for me. I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It is a truly good book, and it's 6 weeks. It's a 6 weeks, no guilt, no BS, just a 6-week program that works. He really knows what he's talking about. And this book is like the second edition. So he wrote it 10 years ago, then he came back and he revamped it and changed some things. I still follow him. I love this book. I've done a lot of things in this book myself. And the good thing about this book, if you're young, no matter you're divorced or single, if you know a young person who is just starting off, make them read this book. It is all about finances. It's maybe some people were taught when they were kids, but it doesn't matter if you've never been taught about finances. Now's the time, ladies. Now is the time. I will teach you to be rich. And trust me, it's not just about being rich. It's about having a rich life. What does richness mean to you? Because whether we want to believe it or not, finances are extremely important. You cannot live on this earth in this time frame without some form of currency, whether that be US dollars, yen, euros, whatever it is, whatever country you live in, you need to learn about money and you need to learn about finances in order to take care of yourself, in order to set expectations for what you want in your life. So I highly encourage you to read this book. I'm going to run through a couple more books that I absolutely love that are on Audibles. Atomic Habits by James Clear. I live by that book. I read it over and over again because it really digs deep into your habits. Your life is a reflection of your habits. That's what James Clear basically says in his book. The life that you're living right now are all signs of your habits and what you do habitually and daily. Read this book. Let's see. Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. Oh my goodness. If you are divorced and came out of a hectic marriage, you need to read this book. This is really a book talking about abusive men and abusive men's mindsets. So I'm not saying all men are abusive. I'm saying the men that are abusive, this is the book in which Lundy Bancroft is describing the mindset and the patterns of abusive men, from social economic status to ethnic groups to anything. Like, we all have this idea of abuse. And a lot of women that follow me know my own story when it comes to psychological abuse and narcissism. We have this idea of what abusers look like or what narcissistic men, how they behave, but it's not what you think. They come in all forms. And some of them yell and scream, but some of them talk very softly. Some of them look very sweet, and some of them not so much. So I'm telling you, I feel like every single woman, if there's one book from this list that I would tell every woman to read, it would be Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. It is the mind, it gets into the mind of the abuser and how to recognize signs before you get into an abusive relationship. Let's see, Growing Yourself Up by Jenny Brown. This again is one of those books. It's about personal development, but it's about, family units and how to reparent yourself, especially if you come from a household where there was a lot of dysfunction and toxic behavior, narcissism. It's really about you now as an adult having to take the reins, take the responsibility for teaching yourself what you didn't get in childhood. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you've never read The 4 Agreements, again, it's one of those personal development, almost little spiritual books that really makes you look into your life and how you as a human fit into this world. And it really helps to grow you and helps you think outside of the box of what you've been told. Let's see, a business book and leadership book, which I never thought I would read, but a good person told me to read it that was in business, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. And it's pretty much the biography of the man who started Nike and how he started it from nothing to where it is now. It's an adventure, but it makes you realize just the ups and downs of building a $1 billion corporate business, the way he did and everything that he had to go through to get it to where it is now. It is a crazy book, but it's really good if you're in business and leadership and really want to know the grit, the true grit that it takes to take your business to that level where he took it. It wasn't easy. When God Was a Woman by Merlin Stone. Now, this book isn't for everybody. This book is not for everyone. I was called to read this book, and I got it on Audibles. I couldn't even tell you how I got to this book. I can't even remember. I was called to read it. I was meant to read this book. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. I'm just telling you, it's deep. It's really deep. If you are really into history, if you're open-minded, if you are the type of person who, even if you belong to a religion, but you're open-minded enough to learn about other aspects of belief systems and religions, When God Was a Woman is deep, and I kind of think every woman should read it. And lastly, 8 Dates by Drs. John and Julie Gottman. If you ever want to be in a relationship ever again, read 8 Dates, because it's going to take you from understanding probably what was part of your marriage that failed, that help you see like, oh, that's the reason why I got divorced, to what it really takes to have a strong, not just marriage, but a strong relationship in general. If you know about them, they are psychologists that have studied marriages over time, and they literally have what's called the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which are the 4 things that are what they see are signs that will lead a couple to divorce. So I don't want to make this, I have other things that I wrote down, but I don't want to make this video too long because there's so many books that I absolutely love, but these are some of the books that have truly changed my life. As you can see, they're all varied. Some of them are historical, some of them are about business. A lot of them are spiritual. Some of them are money books. Some of them are leadership books. I mean, they run the gamut because these are the types of books that you need in every area of your life to be a whole, confident, healthy, courageous woman who wants to build a meaningful, lovely life that she absolutely loves and adores. These were the books that helped me create the life that I'm living now, the life that put me on the journey to my desires and my goals. Definitely let me know what you thought about this video. Be sure to share, like, and comment, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.